Welcome back to Game Break, everyone. It's the end of another year, so it's time to look forward to the great-looking RPGs coming in 2024. Just like last year, the year to come is looking stacked with great games. The RPGs that made this list are anything from indie to AAA. All I care about is that they look fun to play, and they are presented by release date order. So let's get started. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is the second turn-based RPG in the Yakuza series that continues to follow the adventures of Ichiban Kasuga. And if you haven't played a Yakuza game before, boy, I hope you like minigames, because this series is famous for them in terms of their sheer quantity. They also happen to be pretty fun too. Everything from darts and karaoke to dating is here, with more to be discovered along the way. The stories the Yakuza games tell, along with their funny and endearing characters, are also a big part of why this series has flourished for so long, and will likely continue to do so. So if you're interested in turn-based combat, a modern setting, and the famous Japanese sense of humor, give it a play. It's happening, everybody. Granblue Fantasy Relink is actually being released this year. Based off of the hit mobile title of the same name, this action RPG features a 4-person party battle system. Multiplayer is an option, however, for those who want to try it. And if you don't, your party will be AI controlled instead. Early previews of the game promise flashy combo-centric combat with a variety of characters to choose between. Granblue Fantasy Relink will come with an adventure-filled story, and it promises epic action sequences as you tackle the game's main narrative. And even more challenging combat is available post-game for those always looking for a little bit more of a challenge. Persona 3 Reload. This game being remade is a big deal for Persona fans. Persona 3 is to the Persona series what Street Fighter 2 is to the Street Fighter series. Persona 3 introduced social links, a better battle system, and great music to the series. A lot of people might say this is when Persona became good. Persona 3 was by no means perfect because this remake has some needed improvements. More social links are being added to flesh out relationships, and extensive voice work has been recorded to bring the characters and story to further life. Add UI improvements and needed tweaks to the turn-based battles, and I would dare say we have a winner on our hands. And it looks so pretty. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Tifa is back! I know it's Cloud's game, but goddamn. For me, I have 2 RPGs I'm especially looking forward to in 2024. And this is one of them. I loved the first part of the remake trilogy, and now we get to play through arguably the best part of the original game in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. We get to chase Sephiroth across this gorgeous world full of mystery, and I am sure there will be surprises in the story that keep new and old fans talking for years to come. Hopefully, they're good ones. The same great real-time battle system returns with team attacks. Woo! And new party members are added to the mix. It promises 100 hours of content, and with how much I loved the combat, minigames, story, music, environments, and characters, and goddamn everything in the last game, I can't friggin' wait. Unicorn Overlord. Do you like tactical RPGs from the 90s? Because I sure do. And if you do too, this game is probably going to be a must-play for you. The amazing 2D visuals Vanillaware is known for have combined with the gameplay of the Ogre Battle series to create this sick-looking game. You get to command your own army, and you get to recruit over 60 unique characters. Plus, there is unit customization in the form of different classes to upgrade and choose from. As fun as the combat is in these games, forming the perfect units with the right composition of characters is half the fun too. And with the freedom to choose where I can go and what battles I want to fight, and the right answer here is all of them, I can't friggin' wait to play this game. Dragon's Dogma II, Capcom's action RPG, returns with a sequel 10 years later. This series has a dedicated fan following and is much loved for its combat that is reminiscent of Monster Hunter and Dark Souls. And in Dragon's Dogma II, if you're a real man and you want to take the fight to the enemy properly, you'll climb up on any monster you see, land or air, and show them who's boss in this title. The sequel also returns with even more vocations to choose from, and a map that is said to be 4 times as big as the original game. A new playable race of beastmen called the Beast Rans is available for the first time too. All in all, everything about the sequel is looking better, but it's keeping the feel and spirit of the original intact at the same time. Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, the promised day is soon upon us. This is the other big RPG I'm looking forward to this year for so many reasons. Where to start? Well, first, it has a gorgeous blend of 2D and 3D graphics, and it has 3 different battle systems, consisting of a 6-party member turn-based battle system, one-on-one duels, and army battles. For your army and your roster of over 100 recruitable characters, you'll even have your own fortress to house everybody, along with the ability to upgrade said fortress in various ways. With a more focused narrative that hones in on the political strife between nations and the consequences of war, the story has great potential. After all, it is written and directed by Yoshitaka Murayama, who wrote and directed Suikoden 2, one of the greatest RPGs ever. So do yourself a solid and clear your schedule for this one. Black Myth Wukong. Based on the classic novel Journey to the West, Black Myth Wukong has everybody champing at the bit to play it. And I can see why. The game looks pretty damn incredible from both an artistic and graphical standpoint, and the combat looks fun as heck. The game is inspired by the Souls series, it seems, but it seems like it has its own distinct feel. It has multiple combat stances while fighting to switch between, and its magic system allows you to transform into various creatures. I can see the potential. The cool spells and abilities in particular have me excited. Shadow clones and other cool magic will help this game further stand apart from the crowd. I don't know anything about Journey to the West really, but the crazy looking enemies and stunning vistas make me want to learn more. Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail. I'm gonna need a good chunk of time for this one. I come back to Final Fantasy XIV every expansion, and it's always a friggin' blast. Whether I play solo or with other people, the game is perfect for either playstyle. Dawntrail marks the beginning of a new narrative arc and takes place on the continent Tyrol, otherwise known as the New World, for the first time. 2 new jobs, the slick-looking Viper, and a mysterious magic range DPS class will be added. This expansion also features a large graphical overhaul for the 10-year-old game, making it even better looking than before. I'm also hopeful that the story can continue to deliver a quality narrative as it has the past decade. Because the ride has been so great up until now, I don't want to get off anytime soon. The Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak. This is the 11th game in the Legend of Heroes Trails series, and while this game starts a brand new arc with new characters and a new setting, it's a serial narrative. So to fully enjoy the story, you need to kind of at least know what happened in previous games, or you can just jump in headfirst without knowing anything. Whatever floats your boat, dude. Trails Through Daybreak specifically, though, updates the series' graphics, and it tweaks the battle system to allow for action-based battles or turn-based battles, depending on the encounter. There is also a new alignment system in place, and this system will affect things such as what jobs you can take on, dialogue options, and specific events occurring throughout the story. The Legend of Heroes series is well known for its extensive world building and a large cast of lovable characters. It's one of my most favorite series ever, and like every game I played in it, I can't wait for the next one, and this game is no exception. Metaphor ReFantazio. I have been waiting for this game forever. Back when it was simply known as Project ReFantazio, I was eagerly waiting for it, mainly because of the fact it's being directed by Persona 5's director and will have a fantasy setting. Veteran Persona staff are working on it, and it will incorporate various elements from other Megami Tensei games too. For example, it will share elements from Shin Megami Tensei's battle system while also having features from Persona, like social links, social stats, and a calendar. The modern fantasy setting is said to be a mirror of our own world, so I expect it will show that with some interesting takes on the human condition and society at large. But that's okay, because I know it will ooze style while doing it. Avowed. This will hopefully scratch that giant Elder Scrolls itch many of us are suffering from right now. But don't let that statement take away from this game. The developer of Avowed, Obsidian Entertainment, is an amazing developer in its own right. And while Avowed shares the first-person perspective of Elder Scrolls in its gameplay, it is more story and character focused than games like Skyrim or Oblivion. And instead of being an open world game, it's more confined and instead has several large open zones to explore. The companion characters in Avowed will also be integral to the game's story, with 2 being recruitable at a time. So if you're looking for a more story-focused Elder Scrolls game with skill trees, upgradable weapons, and pistols, this might be for you. Dragon Age Dreadwolf has been in production for what feels like 60 damn years. And please God, let it be a success. BioWare's future most likely depends on it. For a game that should be launching in 2024, we know relatively little about it. We do know we will be seeing many more locations in-game than past sequels, which is nice, because past games were often restricted to specific regions. The only thing we really know about the gameplay is from some leaked alpha footage, which shows Dragon Age has seemingly adopted a combat system more focused on action versus tactics. But the leaked footage is only so much to go off of, and so much is still unknown. Magic, equipment, companions, classes, skills, we're still waiting to learn so much. The only other sure thing is that Solus, our companion from the previous game, is the villain. BioWare has committed to pulling back the curtain on Dragon Age in summer 2024. Then our questions should be answered along with hopefully a 2024 release date. Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster. This was supposed to release last year but was sadly delayed. Suikoden 2 is my favorite game. It's one of the greatest RPGs ever made, and this remaster is making 2 beautiful looking PS1 RPGs even more beautiful. And it's improving the English translation, which needs a bit of a touch-up. Other improvements like touched-up spell effects and improved movement are present too, but frankly, porting this would have been a win for RPG fans already, because simply put, Suikoden kicks ass. With 3 enjoyable battle systems, 100 plus recruitable characters, incredible music, and great stories, dude, these RPGs are where it's at. Suikoden fans swear by this series for good reason. Check it out. No Rest for the Wicked. This game comes from Moon Studios, the developer of the excellent Ori series of games. Go play them if you haven't, so good. No Rest for the Wicked is supposed to be a precision action RPG in the style of Diablo, except it has a jaw-dropping painterly art style. It immediately captured my attention as soon as I saw it. The game promises a battle system full of, I quote, tense, visceral combat. It will have weapons with unique movesets, character builds to create, armor and item crafting, along with a town building element. Story-wise, it looks like things will be getting pretty dark. The king is dead, and a plague from 1,000 years ago has returned, transforming the afflicted into horrible monstrosities. I think a kingdom dealing with both a political upheaval and a plague turning the population into monsters is a great sounding setting for this beautiful Diablo-inspired RPG. Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. Can I get a hell yeah up in here? This is a lot of people's favorite Mario RPG, and a remaster/remake, hell, even a simple port to modern hardware has been wanted for forever. With clever and hilarious writing, memorable companion characters, great-looking environments, and a fun turn-based battle system, I personally will be replaying this so damn hard. I am one of those Paper Mario fans who prefers the earlier direction of the Paper Mario series, so I really hope it sells well and the next new Paper Mario can be more in line with this title and Paper Mario 64. If you never played it for the GameCube, definitely give it a try and see why people lament the fact new Paper Mario games aren't more like this one. Crimson Desert. I have seen rumors this RPG could slip into 2025, which makes sense because the amount of things you can do looks crazy. But since they are still rumors, I will still talk about it in this video. Crimson Desert is developed by Pearl Abyss, the Korean studio responsible for the successful MMO Black Desert Online. The game is a large open-world single-player fantasy RPG with a ton of things to do based off the gameplay scene. There are literal hordes of enemies to fight, an expansive open world that includes sky islands to explore, puzzles, and even wagon hijacking. I could go on and on. Suffice to say, there's a lot here. If the developers can deliver it all, it will be amazing. There is even talk about being able to seek out and recruit various mercenaries to fight beside you in your cause. The trailer promises a lot, but there is still much more to learn about it. Keep your eyes peeled. Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree. I need to know more about this DLC, bro. I think a lot of people were hoping to see this at the Game Awards, but it wasn't there, and nothing has actually been shown yet gameplay-wise. However, it is still slated for 2024, and given how long it's been since the main game launched, this DLC could be really good. It could have a large area to explore with a wealth of content. Given how well crafted Elden Ring is, I bet this will be the case with the DLC too, and that it will be well worth the extended wait. The single piece of concept art released has spawned many theories about when, where, or who the DLC will focus on, but nothing is known for sure. All we can do is wait and see. Visions of Mana. Now we're talking, Square Enix. A proper looking new Mana game with what looks like a decent budget. Hell yeah. There has only been a reveal trailer thus far, but a lot can be gleaned from it. It's an action RPG with party members. It has the colorful Mana aesthetic the series is known for, and of course, the story revolves around the iconic Mana Tree. What seems to be new in Visions of Mana are new methods of traversal and larger zones to explore. Couch co-op, class changing, weapon swapping, and other classic gameplay elements from past Mana games are unknown for if they are returning or not at this point. But as a Mana fan, it's nice to see Square Enix give this series the proper respect it deserves. Zenless Zone Zero. There are a lot of gacha games out there, but no one makes them quite like MiHoYo does. They are the kings of gacha right now. Zenless Zone Zero has a lot going for it. It has, in my opinion, some of the best looking characters MiHoYo has ever created, and its battles are gorgeous with a great cinematic flair. However, after the open beta, a few concerns remain about the gameplay loop, along with the simplicity of the combat. But this is why betas happen, so hopefully these concerns, amongst others, will be addressed, because a game that looks this cool with such great looking characters deserves good gameplay that will keep gacha fans playing for years to come. And with that, there are 20 RPGs for you to consider in 2024. Thank you for watching, and let me know what games you're most excited for. See you next time, everybody.